Once again, it comes from losing so many battles, but at the end winning the war. It's my faith, understanding that tomorrow, whether I'm in the deepest storm, I know tomorrow the sun will come out.
Where does that come from?
Losing so much, I'm a miracle. Speaking to you right now, a lot of people don't know that neither. I'm a miracle where the doctor stated that I would die.
What is the community's reaction to this? The community is tired of the violence. The community is tired of what's going on.
David Maldonado Jr. is no stranger to the piercing sounds of sirens. He's also painfully familiar with the sometimes deadly aftermath of gunshots in the community he loves dearly. A Pentecostal bishop and Brooklyn native, Maldonado is the clergy liaison and pastoral advocate for One Police Plaza and Brooklyn's 75th precinct, roles within the purview of the NYPD's Community Affairs Bureau.
The clergy liaisons are the people who bridge the gap between the community and the police department. So when the community is in an uproar, the clergy has to go out and speak to them and, try to calm things down, and vice versa with the police department.
The position, while a vital service, is often fraught with emotion.
It's very hard to speak to somebody when they just lost a loved one. There's no words. There's never no words. I try to just be there with my presence and comfort them. And if they need speaking, we will speak. But sometimes it's like, it's not the moment right now. I'm grieving, and it's whatever you state or you say, it's not going to bring that person back.
When we declare and we decree this violence to stop in Jesus' name.
Local news headlines tell a disturbing story, day after day. Incidents of violence, racial unrest, senseless killing, assailants armed and dangerous. Bullets that do not discriminate as the blood of civilians and that of law enforcement stain the streets. With the finger of blame pointing angrily from both sides, Maldonado walks a fine line trying to bridge a gaping divide between residents and those charged with serving and protecting its citizens.
Therefore, we're standing here with you, being part of the solution and not part of the problem. We understand that this is not going to finish tomorrow, but you know what? If we all unite, we can put a dent into what's going on. Therefore, thank you, Chief Gaffney. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, John.
How do you go into what could become a battlefield sometimes, standing in the middle of somebody who's lost a loved one and the person who they think took that loved one away? Because you've been in that situation right here in our city, right here in our borough.
In that moment, I take my shoes off and I try to put on the sandals that Jesus wore. And don't judge. I stand firm and I speak to the family. Sometimes I get whiplash because they just see that NYPD before my name. Yeah. But I tell everybody I'm a leader before my title. And being a leader is understanding where you come from and the pain that you're going through. And yes, I go through some whiplashes sometimes, or you just like them, or because they have not spoken to me. But when they give me that moment, they're like, wow, I thought you were just like them. Don't get it wrong. I sit with the officers when they're correct, but when they're wrong, they're wrong. There's a wrong person in everybody. There's a wrong pastor, there's a wrong deacon, there's a wrong secretary.
That's reality, that's life.
That's reality.
At the halfway point of 2017, Brooklyn crimes fell in nearly all felony crime categories, and that's according to the latest New York City Police Department statistics. The city saw an 18% decrease in murder compared to the same period a year earlier. Bishop Maldonado's home base, the 7-5, which polices East New York and Cypress Hills, reporting a significant decline in killings. Conversely, Brooklyn South's 67th precinct reported the most murders in Brooklyn by mid-2017 compared to the same period a year ago. Maldonado remains tireless, though, in his efforts to ease tensions, inspired by the words of his mother and, ironically enough, the courage of sinners.
I come back because I've learned to treat people the way I would love to be treated. And my mother always told me to be a great leader, is to understand the feelings of others. You cannot be a great leader if you have not gone through anything. So every great leader, that's why some people say, but why spiritual leaders have to become, either they were pimps, they were drug dealers, they were thieves, they were this, they were the other. You know why? Because God takes you out the pits of hell and he transforms you in order for you to become that model piece.
A model piece in a society where he believes we are all not that different.
We need unity now. We need unity. We don't need to fight. We need unity. All of us come together. I come in peace. And I want to be in peace with my
under
brethren.
fire at this moment. The Caribbean race, the African Americans, we all won at the end of the day. It's all about the human race. It's just at the end of the day, with all this mixture, you're Haitian, I'm Puerto Rican, he's this, he's that. But at the end of the day, you bleed just the way I do.
We all bleed the same color.
We all bleed the same.
It's been said, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Maldonado tells me the quote, attributed to playwright and poet Oscar Wilde, sums up his life so far.
After going to jail and almost doing 25 to life, in which God granted me a second chance and the case was dismissed, I decided to be a better person for the community and for my family. And I let go of being associated with gangs and drug dealing in order to become a better person. After that, I started going to church, going to school to become a minister, and by the grace of God today, I'm an ordained bishop. To God be all glory. If I'm here, it's because God and because I had two parents that when I used to come from the clubs, when I used to come from doing what I was doing, which they didn't know because I always had them hidden away from it, sheltered away. I had always my family sheltered away from my past life because I never wanted nobody to come knocking on the door getting for them, to pick them and them they lose their life for something I did. So it was many times I came home and my mother was at the couch waiting for me to come through the door.
You think she knew that there was something going on that she would not have been happy to know that her son was involved in?
I personally, she may say she didn't, but me personally, the mother intuition, I personally think she did. And what kept her hopes high was that God had a promise for my life.
A promise God has kept. Married over 20 years and a father of 4, David understands that he's blessed and he's a testament to God's mercy.
La fe no es decir yo tengo fe. La fe es moverte en el propósito de la fe que tú estás declarando.
In 2009, I just finished coming back from Dominican Republic. I was actually at the borderline bringing medicine into Haiti. When I came back on Saturday, I remember I had an event in my church. So Sunday we finished the event by God's grace. Everything was beautiful. I get to my home. My little daughter, which at this point she was about 2 years old, 3 years old, she's looking in the album, the family album. And I tell her, Mommy, get away from there. She was by the window. I tell her, get away from there and go to the room and change with Mommy. So she goes back, and within 15 minutes, an explosion occurred. The windows blew where she was just at.
Oh my God.
And by God's grace, my wife comes in, I'm cooking, she says, the terrace is on fire. The fire comes into the apartment. My reaction was to go get my kids, my family, and take them out at the moment. And as we go out the apartment, we hear another explosion. And I go back into the apartment to see if everybody was out of the apartment. And when I go, the ceiling from the top exploded and fell down into the middle of the living room. And we lost everything, but all my kids, my wife, the babysitter who was in the house at the moment, we were all able to make it out. From there on in, I saw the grace of God that I learned how to lose in order to win.
His faith shaken, but never broken.
I'm going to be honest with you because I'm in the house of the Lord. Humanity kicks in. I have not yet seen a man who says he's 100% in faith. When you see reality in front of your face, you have something that's called faith, but reality kicks in because you're on earth. I had my moment where it kicked in, but I was able to say, but God. And my greatest strength, believe it or not, is my faith.
With great responsibility, Maldonado admits comes even greater fears.
Losing things. And that's my major fear. I've always told my wife, just losing the roof that we have, knowing that our kids depend on us. Failing somebody who just put all their hope on knowing that you can deliver, and you failed them.
As we sit in a Catholic co-cathedral in the heart of the Diocese of Immigrants, the leader of Las Maravillas del Éxodo Church defines his purpose, guidance we can all learn from.
I'm not here to change anybody's faith. I'm just here to let my light shine. And when you see my light shine, you will ask, where do I come from and how my light is shining? And then maybe one day, you will come to see where my light is shining from, and you'll be that same person. But at the end of the day, I can walk anywhere. I can go into a Buddhist church. I can go into any church. Because at the end of the day, it's about respecting what you believe in. So respect what I believe in.
Bishop David, I thought we were just going to have a deep conversation about life, but you have taught me so much more.
God be all glory.
Thank you so much for being on this show, for sharing your stories, for being honest, and for doing everything that you do.
Thank you for having me.
I have to have you back.
Let me know.
Of course, of course.
I'll open up the agenda for you guys.
Thank you, Bishop David.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for joining us. As you can see, we bring the stories that you need to hear, where you focus on the positive. Even though the negative happens, the other 99 times should give you hope. The other 99 times should show you that you can persevere. So tune in for the next story because it'll be just as good, I promise. I'm Liz Faublis on behalf of Bishop David Maldonado. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Amen. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
The name of the church that you...
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Mhm.
Hold on, let me get it in English because it's in Spanish. I can say it in Spanish? Or?
Yeah, of course,
Okay.
of course.